Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A new episode with your favorite program on the education channel as well as on public access TV. Tonight, on behalf of John Karhoff and Mike Peterson, on behalf of Sarah, Jason, and Alex, our crew here who are doing the great job, and me, your host, Hani Elkadi, I would like to welcome Kristin Cannon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Principal of Ernest Horn Elementary School in Iowa City. Kristin, would you please tell our audience something about your background? You are one of our youngest principals in this district.
Yes, one of the youngest. This is my 6th year at Ernest Horn as the principal, and I taught there 8 years prior to that in 3rd and 4th grade. So I've been with the district for 14 years now, and it's an honor. I love my job, and I love being the principal at Horn Elementary.
And you play 3 roles in your life. You're an educator, you're an administrator, and you are a parent, and you have 2 kids who attend Horn.
I do.
Right?
I have a 1st grader and a 4th grader who attend Horn Elementary.
And what are their names?
My 4th grade daughter is Kate, and my 1st grade son is Matthew.
Any one of them is going to education like mom, or they are?
Oh, Kate talks about becoming a teacher, so we'd be happy with that, whatever she wants to do.
One of the topics that we discussed a lot of topics when we met in our production meeting, but one of the main emphasis that you wanted us to shed the light on tonight is your art program. And my understanding is that art in your own terminology includes the visual arts, the PE, as well as other activities. Can you tell our audience about this? And I know that you have prepared something for our audience to see tonight.
Yes, I wanted to talk tonight about the role of the arts at Horn Elementary and art education and how crucial it is in educating the whole child. Through my time as principal, I had the opportunity to be in charge of the Ginsberg Artist, is working with a local vendor to bring art education into the buildings, and also to sit on the Kennedy project, which is looking how we bring different art mediums into the school. And I feel that art education is really important and really reaches the different abilities and multiple intelligences of all children. So I wanted tonight to share some of the things that we have going on at Horn through our art program, our music program, our physical education program, and our media and technology. So I brought a couple of those to share.
So while we are watching some of the activities, and I think it's going to probably start within a few moments now, it did already. I see a beautiful smile on the face of this young kid.
Yeah.
You can tell us about the activity and what they are doing. This is an art room, as I understand. This is your art teacher.
This is our art teacher, Dan Peterson, who came to us 2 years ago. And he's been wonderful teacher, just giving the students different hands-on experiences in the art classroom, exposure to different artists, and being able to let the students really experiment and to try and build things and develop things.
As a matter of fact, I have a very brief comment here about your art teacher, because he had to fill big shoes. And Mrs. Carmichael was one of the legendary teachers, and when she passed away, the late Candice Carmichael left a vacuum, a gap. And everybody didn't expect anyone to be able to fill her place. But he was very successful, and quickly he adopted, I think, some of our program too. I think we are having your kids back again here.
Yes, they're doing some music. To highlight on Mr. Peterson, he was one of Mrs. Carmichael's students, so he learned from the best, and he carried on the traditions that she brought to Horn, and and it really made that transition pretty smooth for those students in such a difficult time.
So he was a Horn kid.
He was not a Horn kid. He was at a different school that she taught out prior to that.
But you were.
I was a Horn kid, yes. Yes, I did.
So how does it feel? Because I did ask John Bacon this question. You know, he was at City High and became the principal of City High. That's really amazing. So how does it feel when you were sitting at the desk as a kid, and then you became the one who designed and administrate all this?
It's a wonderful feeling. It's a euphoric feeling. You never thought, you know, that might be where you ended up when you started your educational role and went into teaching and then ended up going to be the principal. It's wonderful. I know every nook and cranny of that school and have such a long history with that school and feel it's such a wonderful school. And that was one of the reasons why my children go there as well. I just wanted them to be a part of the Horn community.
And now they are jumping here, right?
This is physical education. We built on a new physical education room, and Mr. Hildebrand, our physical education teacher, does a great job of exposing students to different games and activities, different ways to become fit, and nutrition. And you can see the students on the rock climbing wall. This is a favorite of the students. And I thought this would just be a great way to show how students who are good at feel that sports and physical activity is a way for them to excel, and how we expose students to different aspects of that.
And this is a new gym.
This is our new gym, yes.
Okay, and that's a huge place.
It is, much bigger than the old one, it's really nice to have that.
And that would bring me to a question while this is going on here. A question about Ernest Horn, because I have had this impression about schools under the leadership or with the leadership of certain people. And because I had a long history of serving in the district, I have seen Ernest Horn under the leadership of Paul Davis. And that time, Paul Davis gave the school this kind of reputation as a school where art is promoted with the community involvement. And then after Paul left, he was, I think, followed by Jan Harvey, who has known to be a strong administrator. And we heard that Horn is so much focused on academics, on attendance, and on the discipline and so forth. So now that Horn is under your leadership, how do we explain or describe the school in your reign or under your leadership?
In my leadership, I'd like to say it's the Mary of the two former principals. I, like you, was a student under Paul Davis, so I got to see him and be exposed to the arts and his strong community relation. And then I had the opportunity to teach under Jan Harvey and to learn about the importance of curriculum and how to meet the needs of all the different learners in the building. And so I would like to say that I take from both of them a wealth of knowledge that I've learned. I really feel my biggest emphasis is community and making Horn a place that welcomes every student, where every student feels comfortable, motivated, and excited to learn every day. And I think we do that by community involvement with parents and staff.
I think we are blessed to have the leadership of our education community here believes that the arts and sciences, the fun of arts and the seriousness of sciences are integrated in order to make the whole child. And I think you selected this as a title for our. What did you mean exactly by teaching the whole child?
I meant the importance of art education, bringing children to have exposure to art, to music, to physical education, to media, to literature, various literature, to new technology, and all of that is equally as important when you're educating a child as math and science, and integrating those all together to really create that whole child. We know that children learn in many different ways, and the roles that art and music and PE plays in helping children learn is imperative. I mean, it's just wonderful. And to bring that and to marry that together and have those teachers who are experts in those areas come together and be able to present curriculum in a way that every child can learn is wonderful. And that's our goal.
The philosophy of education now puts a lot of, let us say, emphasis on the role of principal to hire new teachers. Maybe 15, 20 years ago it wasn't the same, because the central office used to have the major decision, the human resources office, plus the curriculum supervisors or curriculum coordinators and so forth. Now it's a lot of responsibility has been, let us say, allocated to the leader of the school or the principal. Do you have certain philosophy in what kind of teacher? Let us suppose our director here, Jason, who is our floor director here, wanted to be a teacher in your school. What do you expect from the new teacher to offer?
I expect the new teacher to be a collaborative team member of Horn. I expect them to come in and to learn from one another, to collaborate, to share ideas, to look at best practices with one another, to make sure that we realize that all children at Horn we're the teachers of all children at Horn, not just the ones that sit in our classroom, but the ones from kindergarten all the way through 6th grade. And getting to know all the students at Horn, being able to work with all the teachers and to bring in various resources from the community. Those would be my expectations.
There are a few difficult questions to ask. And because we have limited time now, and I see that we are trying to confine to the time factor here. But I will try to be selective and get to concentrate on what is kind of crucial. One of the essential things is we are moving now to more diverse population in our schools. And we are expecting within the next few weeks in this particular community to have an internal discourse and communications between the leadership and the Board of Education, as well as the members of the community, whether they are opposing or they are supporting. But we are going to see a lot of controversial issues related to the issue of diversity. Now, your education administration had defined diversity as it relates to the income of the family. In other words, what is considered minority is not somebody like me with an accent or with a beard or with a color, but the person that is have very limited or some limited means. So reduced lunch as a price and free lunch and all that. That is the parameter that classify people into minority or majority. Do I agree with that or not? Well, we can discuss this for 10 shows to come. But this is what you agreed upon, or that's what the board is adopting now. Now, if this is the rule, definitely there will be changes. And I'm looking at the camera now, talking to our community, that you can expect some changes because the board is going to assign the superintendent to kind of equilibrate or let us say balance the number of minority kids between the two high schools and the junior high schools and eventually the elementary schools. Can you tell me what's your take on that?
Over the last year, we have become a very much more diverse school. With the closing of Roosevelt, we've had shifting of students, and it's been wonderful. It has been a wonderful experience. We took a lot of time in preparing the students from Roosevelt to come to Horn and to make sure that we made them feel welcome, to make sure that we brought traditions from Roosevelt to Horn as well.
You had a big number, I think.
We had about 120.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it has been just wonderful. We have had different cultures and different religions all coming together, students with different backgrounds, different needs and strengths, and really learning from one another. It has been wonderful. And it was a process to try and get everything to run smoothly. Whenever you move a child from one building to another, there's, you know, it takes a lot of adjustment, and those children need to be prepared. So we did a lot of proactive things by having students come over and come to Horn and tour Horn and meet their future teachers and meet their future classmates. And I think all of that really helped with the transition, and that's something that as the district looks at implementing this diversity under this diversity change under the school board, that it'll be crucial to make sure that those transitions are there for students if you look at moving students from one school to another.
Of course, without getting into the controversial issue of some confusion in the district about my kids going to a different school next year, how can I plan, what can I do, I live in this district and or in this part of the town, and my kid is going to be living in another part. Do you think that it is the proper time to do this now?
I think there's sometimes not really ever a good time when you're looking at moving students from one building to another. I do think that it may not necessarily be feasible to make this decision now and have it go into effect in the fall. You know, my personal belief is that, you know, we want to give children that transition time, and we want to make children feel comfortable with what's going to happen and the changes that are going to be made, and that takes a lot of preparation and a lot of time for that to happen. So they'll just have to make sure that those are in place for the students to make them feel a part of the new community that they may be going to.
So we are expecting now changes to involve the diversity issue as well as the purpose statement that is in the process of getting cooked now and getting ready to be implemented somehow if our audience would vote for it. And I know that the district is doing a lot of public relations in order to promote the idea of voting positively for the purpose statement. But my question was more related to the fact that we are going to be busy with two huge issues here. Yes. And this is a task over in addition to what you have to do as administrators. I mean, this would add some load to you. And that was the only concern I have, is that you have to deal with a lot of issues. Kids coming, again, parents may not be very satisfied with the purpose statement. Others would be very happy with it. Please everyone, right? So let us go back to our classrooms and talk about the little kids. Yes. And talk about the kindergarten. Now, I know that there are some new ideas about kindergarten. Is that involving your school or not?
Not currently with our schools.
But you are, I think they are thinking now of more technology into kindergarten or something like that. And then you have the STEM program too. Can you tell us what STEM program? Can you explain to our audience?
The STEM program is the involvement of really technology, math, and science into the classroom and really strengthening those areas. And the district has been wonderful in getting us more technology in the classroom. All of our kindergarten through 6th grade classrooms have smart boards, wall mount projectors, Elmos, a lot of the tools, classroom computers, a lot of the tools that students need to be able to learn all the technology that is coming out and to be able to implement that into the curriculum that they're learning and to be able to make presentations and prepare for real life where they're going to be using technology. And so it's been wonderful that we've had all of that integration, and it really has helped promote those areas at Horn and in buildings in the district.
I know that we are approaching, Jason, we have a couple more minutes, I think. So that would be a good, what was your reaction when you heard about the violence that happened in the elementary school in Connecticut?
It was very shocking and it was very upsetting. My first reaction was to think, what would I do in that situation myself? And do we have the safety measures at Horn that are necessary? And to really make sure that our parents and our community and our teachers feel safe, feel secure, that they're knowledgeable of what we would do in emergency situations and how to handle that. And then, of course, our heart goes out for those families and those students and faculty at that school. And I know that our school is looking at ways that we can help, any way that we can help, because that's just such a terrible loss and it's such a horrible thing to have to go through.
It's a disaster, definitely.
It is.
It's one of the few things that one like me can remember as one of the worst day in their lives, you know, a bad memory. But because people are polarized between the left and right, and people are thinking, well, I'm conservative, no, I'm liberal, I'm left, I'm right, and all that. I like Leonard Cohen when he says, well, I'm not left or right, I'm just sitting in front of the stupid screen all night. So that's probably describes a lot of people's apathy towards what's going on. But you don't, I am not talking about you, Kristin, in particular, but your community doesn't agree with teachers carrying guns to school, do you? Or at least trained?
You know, I think that's something that we haven't really discussed, and I think that would be, I don't even, you know, that would be very hard to imagine. Very hard to imagine.
But as a principal, would you like to have a gun?
No.
Okay.
No, I would not.
All right. So now let us see, how do you foresee the future of Horn School under your leadership the next few years?
I hope that we're going to, my goal is to be a strong building, to be a welcoming building, a building where every student wants to come and really enjoys their time at Horn and enjoys the teachers that they learn from and the students that they interact with and make friends and connections with. And my goal is to increase that community involvement, parent involvement, and to make Horn as strong as it can be for the students.
And of course, you probably rely a lot on your wonderful team of teachers. And I have to tell you, and this is a personal note, that my kid, Nina, graduated from your school.
Yes.
And because she was at a very high level in reading and math and all that, now she's facing some trouble at junior high because everything is like, lower than her level. So I can tell that you are doing a good job. You know, when she comes and say, I know all that.
Well, we strive to meet the needs of each student. That's, you know, to challenge each student. And it's easy when we have parents like you who, you know, are very committed to your child. And
I know that a lot of parents are involved in activities with you, right?
Yes, yes. We have a very strong parent population, and it's wonderful. They've been bringing in a wealth of information and knowledge and getting involved in their students' activities and helping out in the classroom.
And you plan with the parents too. I mean, you bring the parents. Or what's upcoming event that parents can come to?
We are coming on January 17th. We are having our annual cancer awareness for the University Hospital and Clinics, and so we're doing our mini dance marathon. And that's a wonderful activity. We have parents come and volunteer and help, and we have a dance team from the University of Iowa come over and get the students supporting and dancing and having fun, and it's a great, wonderful community event. And we also are looking forward to having our first international night at Horn in March.
When was that? In March?
It'll be in March. March 6th, we're starting the preliminary plannings, and we're hoping to bring all the diversity that we have at Horn and to celebrate all the traditions and cultures of the students who make up our Horn population.
And then we have something on February 2nd.
February 2nd is our annual fun night, which is wonderful. It's our big fundraising. Students come and just have a wealth of fun. They get to try and win prizes and win cakes and eat
Well,
pizza and play with their friends.
You know, this show is going to be aired on the Education Channel. Usually, we follow at least twice a week the board meeting. Sometimes our voice is not very good. I know that my boss there behind the glass window say, "Why did you say that?" But we are succeeding, and we are getting a lot of feedback from the YouTube, by the way.
Great.
I get a lot of letters. I got a lot of phone calls. Why did you ask about that? Why didn't you ask about that?
This.
So, but I get a lot of credit too. And the credit actually goes to these people.
Absolutely.
To John Karhoff, Mike Peterson, to Jason, and to Alex, who is our new cameraman here, and of course Sarah, the new star of our show. So we have a lot of work behind that.
Absolutely.
And this is a very successful program that I'm proud to be part of. Anyway, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
It has
This
been
was
a
wonderful.
delightful conversation with you, Kristin. And I
you.
would like you to succeed and make all your dreams come true for Iowa City, for the kids, and for yourself and your two beautiful little kids.
Well, thank you so
and,
much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and welcome to our show on Public Access TV. We are on Monday, by the way, and on Saturday. Right. On Monday, we air, I believe, at maybe 7 o'clock.
Great.
And Saturdays about 1:30. Last week it was 1:32. So, but we are always either on channel 18 or 21.
Great.
And tomorrow we'll be on YouTube. So tell your kids to watch your show.
I sure will. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Have a good night.
Thank you.